Hey guys!
Hey!
Hey, so now we've introduced you to the concept of Napro technology. So we wanted to take you on location so that you can see firsthand one of our local clinics.
And don't mind our fashion-forward hair. We're actually going on a photo shoot today, just kidding. But this is the Hope Women's Clinic, and we'll get a kind of closer up view next time or when we go further. And this is actually where I go to see Dr. Caldwell. So come on with us.
So here we are in Metairie, Louisiana at the Hope Women's Clinic, and we're about to go in. Come on.
Okay guys, so this is the waiting area, aka the spa. Let me just kind of show you around. Mary's gonna walk in. Go ahead. There's the beautiful chairs. Walk around a little bit more. Oh, there's the waterfall feature. Okay, so hold on here. Mary's gonna wait for her appointment. Okay guys, so this is where I typically wait while I'm waiting for Dr. Caldwell. Hey guys, so we are back, and we were recently talking about why you would make the effort to change to a Napro doctor, and so we actually brought a local doctor here today. Actually, we came to her. We brought her, we came to her today, and she's actually going to tell us a little bit about herself so that you can get to know her and kind of understand Napro technology a little bit more. So welcome, Dr. Caldwell.
Welcome.
We're so excited to have you, even though I get to see you all the time. But
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, I am married with 3 children. I have twin boys who are 16 and a little girl who is 12. I live about an hour south of here near Houma, Louisiana. Yeah, so
my husband grew up in Houma.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a drive, but it's good. It's good. Lots of time to process the day and drive home and drive to work every day. So kind of a nerd. I like hobbies, little quiet hobbies like reading and jogging and spending time at home with my family.
Well, that's not really that nerdy, so I mean, I don't know.
So not that exciting actually, but
Running
I love
can be
it.
exciting,
Yeah.
especially if you fall or something, which is what I probably do.
Try not to do that.
Hopefully she's not falling, but you know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
For the people around her, it's funny, and I've done that before. I actually just fell off an escalator while trying to wave at my niece in the airport. Like literally, it was like, "Hey!" Plump.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wish
it
I
was
could have
awesome.
seen that.
It was really funny. So you weren't always a Napro doctor. What kind of doctor were you before?
Well, I was drawn to primary care in medical school and residency. I just loved the idea of establishing relationships with patients and working with them to just ensure their health and to help them to know their bodies and to be as healthy as possible. So just those long-term relationships, just really enjoyed that. So primary care, internal medicine, and pediatrics. I'm board certified in both.
Fancy.
Oh.
So how did you first hear about Napro technology?
Well, about 6 years ago, 2 women that I know shared with me their struggles with infertility. They went to a place called Pope Paul VI Institute in Omaha, Nebraska, and they were treated.
Been there.
Yes.
Been there, done that.
That is the home of Napro technology, and so these 2 friends of mine told me how they were treated for infertility, and it was much different than what I had heard the type of treatment that most people have with infertility. It was really an individualized approach where each one of these women was just really cared for by their doctors. The doctors took a lot of time to get to know them, asked a lot of questions, asked not just about their ovaries or their uterus, but they wanted to know things like let's talk about your mood, and let's talk about, is it painful to have sexual intercourse with your husband? I mean, those kinds of questions. They really cared for their whole person, their whole well-being, and so each one of these women were they thoroughly investigated. They found out they had hormonal abnormalities. Both women ended up having surgery for endometriosis, and these were not the 1-2 hour surgeries that I was familiar with in endometriosis surgery. These were, 8 to 10 hour surgeries, very detailed surgeries that really aimed to restore health to their pelvis, really. And so both of these women just raved about the treatment they got there, and the approach was just so unique and so individualized that I was very interested to learn more.
Yeah. So what made you want to incorporate Napro technology into your practice?
Well, as a doctor, I want to provide the best care for my patients, right? Or doctors should. And Napro technology offers real solutions to these problems that lots of women face. So in medical school and residency, doctors are really taught, unfortunately, I was taught that many of these problems that women face, whether it be irregular cycles, lots of problems with your period, that maybe the birth control pill or artificial hormones might be the kind of this cure-all, this approach to treatment that kind of takes care of the symptoms, right? And it makes everything appear to be normal. It looks like it regulates the cycle, and so many of us are taught in medical school, we are taught that this is the best treatment for so many things that a woman struggles with. And so that's just not the case, okay? So I came to understand that when I learned about Napro technology as being just a better alternative.
Yeah.
And so it seems like when the birth control pill was introduced in 1960s, that it seemed like such a great treatment that doctors were no longer taught how to look at the cycle, study it, and understand, what's wrong, and then solve those problems. So that
motivation kind of stopped because something was just taking care of the symptoms.
Yeah, it seemed so easy. It seemed like just a great approach. But doctors just got in bad habits of using the pill to kind of treat everything, and that's really gotten us in a place where frequently women will go with so many different problems, expecting to be listened to and to be helped, and they're really just kind of given a prescription for a pill. And then when they go back and say the pill's not making me feel any better or maybe worse, they're just often given another pill with different side effects.
And they don't realize what's going on in the meantime.
And the woman does not have an answer to what's wrong. As I started to learn more about these treatments, I was really shocked to see the side effects that I saw in my patients. I saw patients with cancer, young women in their 20s, patients with blood clots that went to the lungs, and just some horrible things from this treatment that wasn't really solving any problems. It was just treating symptoms and not the underlying condition.
Yeah.
So in 2012, I decided that I could no longer provide artificial contraceptives to my patients in my practice.
Wow, so you just stopped prescribing.
Right, I just couldn't do it anymore. I was just so convinced that the risks and the harm outweighed the benefit, and so I just had to make that decision to do something else for my patients, something better. So that's when I went to learn about Napro technology, and
it's a huge change.
Yeah. It was a big change. Yes. That's an awesome change. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, so how have you seen it affect your patients? Because you were doing this before, and now there's this whole new method.
Big change.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, they are so appreciative that someone finally listens. It's a team approach to really restoring their overall health. Right. So first, a woman or a couple meets with a practitioner, a Creighton practitioner, who teaches her about her cycle.
That's cool, so cool.
Teaches her what everything means. There's a purpose to everything that happens in our cycle every day, and there's a meaning to the mucus.
It's not a bad word here.
No, it's not.
It's
That's a great word. Right? They understand the science behind their fertility, and they find out, hey, I can start to look and know what's happening with my body, and work with my doctor or my practitioner to help figure this out. So it's a partnership, and so women just love being in a partnership of a team that are just helping them be better.
It's crazy that this is a new concept.
that we're supposed to be a part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it makes perfect sense.
Right. Wow.
When I started to chart my own cycles, I learned things in that first Creighton intro session that I had not learned in medical school about my body, about how mucus. That word, I had to say that word, mucus, what it does, and how it really is good stuff. Like, it's good stuff.
The wonders of mucus.
The wonders of mucus is what I learned.
That's awesome.
And so women feel great knowing that they're more empowered. They know what's going on with their bodies. They have a team of people who also know and are communicating with them about that.
Yeah.
Men actually are fascinated by the inner workings of our reproductive systems.
It probably helps them as a couple too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I know it's helped
they're
us
involved.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband's I know both of our husbands are really involved in the process.
Yeah.
So normally it's like, you do that over there and I'm good over here, but like Napro really pulls you all together, so.
Yeah. And men are kind of wired to problem solve. Like, they want to find a problem and fix it.
It's so true.
And so for them to finally know that there could be a reason why their wife acts in an irregular manner
What a nice way to say that.
a week before the period starts, like, finally there's an answer to that. Like,
Right,
we
right.
can maybe help that.
Yeah.
They're all about it.
So,
Those men.
disclaimer for all the men out there, Napro is for you too.
That's right.
But it
Don't
is,
be
'cause they
running
can do
away
stuff for
now.
It is. Don't be afraid of that mucus. Our chart, our reproductive chart, our Creighton chart, is really is a way of knowing our overall health. So if we have something wrong with our thyroid, or if we have cancer, it's going to show itself in our chart.
So you're saying there's some ways to, like, early detectors for cancer just by charting?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Well, and I think too, like, I know that I've had friends who were like, oh, I'm fine, I don't need to do this. And then out of almost, in a sense, duty, they learned about Napro and they started charting. And then, like, some who have come to you and they actually found out that they had hormonal imbalances. So,
Yeah.
without charting. So, I mean, really, it's just, in a sense, like a maintenance system. And so you need to figure, so whether or not, you think you have something, you potentially could, because it is such an intricate, like, system.
It is. And so, for so long, women have really been blown off by providers. When they come in to see their doctors, they try to tell the doctors of different problems that they have, and they're really not listened to as a rule.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of taught to put up with a lot of symptoms that we think are normal.
Right.
So it's really important that you see, if not an Napro technology doctor, but just a really good doctor who will listen, because we can identify when we take a good history which women really need to chart. Because sometimes they don't know that certain like really terrible breast tenderness or really irritable mood swings right before their their period starts, that might be a sign of a low progesterone, and they might just think that's normal.
Right.
So it's just really good to talk to a doctor who knows what's normal and what's abnormal, so that the people who have problems that could benefit from charting, and so that they get to charting as soon as possible.
It's so funny. Speaking of our husbands being involved, I had some irregular bleeding, and Chris was just like, well, your progesterone's just probably low. I was like, give you a cookie. I was like,
give you a cookie.
But really, it made me feel so special, just like that he knew that. And that was something we're doing together. You know, it was awesome.
Can you imagine, like to have your husband that involved, that he's like, wait a second, I know how to fix this. Just call your doctor. We got this.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, we were kind of talking about this before, but so women and men actually go into their appointment with you almost knowing more at that point about themselves. Which is so amazing, being, to me that's so empowering to be like, no, I know what's going on, and, and they even
going to kind of guide me.
Right, exactly. So that's exciting.
Yeah. So how has all this, Napro technology, affected your life and your relationships with your patients now?
Wow. So, it's really very gratifying to do this work. I know every day that I've offered my patients, the best care that I can offer. So I admit it's not easy. This way of practicing medicine, it requires, you know, more time, more energy, more thought, but that's why I went into medicine in the first place, right? To really help people and to solve problems.
And to form those relationships.
And to form those relationships that go, you know, for a long time. And then, you know, for patients, I just love to treat women, and then as the women have daughters that are teenagers, you know, that they know that they're going to get really good care, that they don't have to just put up with whatever I put up with as a teenager, or, you know, just getting the same, you know, type of treatment, this, you know, Band-Aid approach and to symptoms, and just to know that we have an authentic, good way to treat women's health problems. I mean, they're going to pop up. It's always going to happen.
And it's so great how you said mothers take their daughters so that they can get the treatment they need, like, right away when they need it. You know, which is something I could have certainly benefited from when I was just started. You know, to catch things sooner,
earlier,
right? Before
and we
they
know
would
that
have.
the treatments that we give don't hurt people, right? There's no risk of death or cancer with the treatments we're getting.
It actually does the opposite.
Opposite, absolutely. And so my hope is that other providers adopt this way of treatment.
That would be amazing.
We need lots and lots and lots of providers to do this.
Because you said it takes some more time, but you're getting so much more for your money, right?
Yes.
Because the doctor is spending so much quality time with you, trying to figure out what's going on, and then on, you know, after that too, right?
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You've
you
been
so
such
much.
a huge help.
Thanks for
It's
visiting
been-
us.
I know, it was fun. Well, and I just want to say, shout out again, because Dr. Caldwell is my doctor, and let me tell you that every visit I've had with her is extremely personal, and she gets to the bottom of things. She's so loving in the way that she talked to you. Like, she was, oh my gosh, like when I first came the first time, I was really frustrated, and she was just like, it's all right, like, we got this, you know, like, she listened to me, you cared, like, you actually really truly cared, and I've heard that from so many people. So Dr. Caldwell is definitely a great place to start if you're just not sure. Like, she will be there, she'll support you, and we have a great staff here. We don't, I'm not a part of it, even though I'm here
We really
so much.
don't pay her. We should, but we don't.
I'm here all the time. They have a great staff here that is, you know, from the front, Carolyn and Melissa, who was hiding in the back because she didn't want to be on camera today, but you will see her. So thank you so much for your time and staying late to do this, because you have to drive another hour. So we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, so Napro Technology, as you can see, it's not too good to be true. You can really get this great of care for yourself. So go to fertilitycare.org to find a doctor near you, and contact us with any questions. Until then, we're signing off from Hope Women's Clinic in Metairie, Louisiana. Bye!